Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics, where we are restoring the 78 Chevy Nova. This is episode 13. We're getting closer and closer to getting it ready to paint. And hopefully by the time the end of this video, it should be ready to paint or start painting. So I'll go over what we're going to do to it. Last episode we had to rework this whole quarter panel, and then we primed this whole side, sanded and primed this whole side and the deck lid, stripped the roof and the hood, and right now I'm fixing the little dings. I didn't think there was any on there, but there's a couple little hail dents on there. I think there's one more in here. Yeah, one more right there. Okay, the hood had a couple of dents in it and right along this body line, but at least it's not caved in here. Usually when you got dents on there, it's kind of warps all the metal, but it seems like it's just on this ridge here. So I got to smooth all them out. There's a couple more little dings. I think there's a little ding right. I think there's a little ding right there. Okay, then I can prime the roof and the hood, and then everything will be in primer. This side here needs to be all sanded, block sanded down, because this is just the bodywork done and primed. Now we got to block it all down with 180 grit and reprime this whole side. Then we'll have to do it with the roof and the hood also after it dries for 2 or 3 days, because I use that epoxy primer with the activator in it. So we want to make sure that's dry before we sand and reprime it. Okay, we're going to take off the front bumper, and we're going to and the headlight bezels, and we're going to sand all this plastic that's all messed up, and this side here is actually worse, but I can't really sand that very good unless the bumper's off. So we're going to paint all this silver here, take off the headlight bezels, get a strip this down here like the other side. I started sanding that. That's pretty much sanded. I'm going to take off this brown paint here. Okay, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to paint that silver, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint silver around this door handle and door lock. I'm going to go ahead and put them on there, mask it up when I paint the whole car, and so I can put the door panel and everything on there. Okay, this door and fender are ready to paint. This needs to be sanded down. This quarter here, I'm going to have to block it all out, make sure there's no imperfections, and reprime it. Deck lid's ready to paint. Okay, so it's very, very time consuming doing all this body work and prep and getting it ready to paint, but so it probably doesn't make for an exciting video, but we'll try to get some little stuff done here. I need to buy the at least, well, I'm going to buy all 3 belts: power steering, alternator, and AC. Probably won't put the AC on. Now, I checked the charge on it, and there was a little bit of Freon in there. So I don't know, it could work. But I'm going to change the belts because it squeals when you first start it up. You rev it up and it stops, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll show you this console I just bought from Wally Mart. I was in there for other stuff, and I seen this console. And I thought, well, it's kind of neat. It actually fits in there, and the color's good and everything. I'll take it out. Back it out here. Got a little lever there with the keys, and came with screws. Got your cup holders. You know, these old cars don't have cup holders, so you got to have them. Got a little storage thing here in the back. Kitty's checking it out. Thing I'd like to do is, let's put this back in there. I'll show you. See, I was going to build a console for this in my '69 Chevy, but I like this. This is a good start. I was going to build it like out of fiberglass and wood or something. So I think this is going to set like here, where you can rest your arm on it if you want to. Oh, that's why I took it out, to show you. See how it's flat on the bottom, so it rocks. So I'm going to cut it around here round so it kind of sits better. It's got about an inch, well, a couple inches here before it lays flat. So I think I can cut that out and make it sit in here pretty good, and then put the 2 screws, I think, go in here somewhere. Okay, so what I'd like to do is either build onto this or build a separate console that comes up here and houses the radio and the gauges. I'll probably put 3 gauges in here, but probably just hook up the water temperature, something like that. So I'd like to have that right in here. So I don't know if I'll build a separate one or just kind of mold onto this one. I don't know. I won't be doing that in this video, but anyway, I kind of like it, and I like the color. That's pretty neat. So we're gonna mount that. The only problem is, here's the seat belts here, and I just put that one in there. Of course, this is for the driver's side and passenger side, but originally it had one down here, and I can't find the other bolt. I'll have to check a parts car and put the other one here, because you can't, this would be for the driver's side, but if it's underneath the console. So anyway, I'm gonna have to round up a bolt and put in the other seat belt right here, and then cut and mount that. Okay. So okay, I think that's all we're gonna need to go over. I didn't show that pour 15. I pour 15'd all these wheel wells last episode. I didn't show it very good. They were all surface rust on it. I don't know how good you can see, but yeah, it's all the rust underneath is all pour 15. I'll probably put a little bit more on that front bumper inner stuff there once I take that off. And then we still got to sand this rocker here with 80 grit and prime it, but we can do that when we block down this door and quarter. Okay, I think that's all that's left to do on it before paint. I will probably also, when I put some silver, when I paint the front part silver there by the bumper, I'll paint these silver, put them on, and I think I'll paint all around here silver, and go ahead and put the well, this one doesn't need any silicone, but the back, it doesn't leak or anything, but it's all, the old sealant stuff's cracked. So I'm going to clean that up, plus these clips are broken and everything too. Right in here you can see they're all broke. So I'm going to pack all that in with silicone and put them moldings back on there and tape them down That's another reason I want to do this before it's painted. Make sure they're all sealed in there and good. Then when I paint it, I can just mask off them moldings. So anyway, we're gonna get some silver paint all in here, front and back. Okay, then I got a few more things to order. I don't know what goes on here, whether they're supposed to be metal or just plastic stuff, but you can buy a roll of that plastic. I need to look that up and buy some of that. Well, we won't be putting that on until after it's painted, but that and a few other little things I gotta find. I need an armrest for this door, the inside pull handle armrest thing. This one here I painted. That's the driver's side. It's good. Door panels are ready to put on. We can put them on too. I got a list, just little minor stuff. The window winder handles, I got friggin' boxes of them. Here's some old Nova stuff here. I got extra lenses and stuff I've had for a long time. We'll be using some of this for the 72. That's why I kind of got it out. Anyway, I got a whole bunch of door handles, or the window winder handles, but I like I'll buy a couple of new ones because they're got the little black knobs on them. They look new instead of the yellowish type ones. I can order them, a couple other little things, and you know, like I said, I think that's about all. So after all that's done, we're gonna paint the hood, roof, and deck lid black for the black stripes. But I'm not going to lay out the stripes. I'm just going to paint it all black and then let it dry for about 3 days or so, depending on the weather. And then when it's ready to paint silver, then I'll mask off the black part for the stripes and paint the rest silver. But that'll be way down the road. Not way down the road. It's, like I said, it's getting pretty close. It's just time consuming. Lots of sanding and blocking and primering and stuff like that. But the only way to get her done is to keep working on it. So, plus I got the, there's a 68 parts car and a 72 Novas over there. That's next. Okay, so anyway, I'll be back when I get some updates. Okay guys, I got the hood and roof ready to prime. Got it all slicked out down the bare metal. Fix a few dents and dings. This hood wasn't too bad. I sanded down this fender a little bit. So I'm just fixing to prime that hood, roof, and this fender, and then I'm gonna have to start from here on the door and start sanding, block it down to 180, this door and this quarter and the other quarter, and then they have to be reprimed, and then that should be about it, other than scuffing down with 400 grit. Well, I'll have to sand and repaint the hood and roof in a couple days after it dries real good. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, it's got 2 coats of primer on it. 2 good coats. And like I said, I'll have to dry for a couple days, and we'll sand it and reprime it. Okay, so actually the whole car's in primer now, but it's not all done, but are ready to paint. Parts of it are. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do the other quarter and door, and then start on this side here in the deck lid. And in a few days it should be all ready to paint. So I'll be back. Okay guys, I got this door and quarter panel all blocked down with 180, ready to prime. And I DA'd, puppy. I DA'd all the rockers down here with 80 grit, so I'll prime them as well. It's really hard to get underneath, well, to sand and to paint underneath here. I'll have to go over that when basically it's going to go black from here down with a stripe. And what I'll probably do under here is use a brush with some black paint, the car paint that I paint the car with, and get way under here, this area here, because it's too hard to spray. I could take a little touch-up gun and spray under there, but it's awful low, and I'll probably just take a brush because nobody's going to see it anyway. But anyway, just thought I'd go over that. Yeah, this is all blocked down with the 80. This is the time-consuming part. You got to just keep blocking and blocking. I'll probably show you a little bit. And here's a quarter panel here. That was a new quarter panel, but you know, it joined in here and it was all dented. Anyway, it's all blocked down. Then I started blocking over here. Basically, you just take your block with 180 grit and just keep blocking like this, and you got to keep pounding the dust out of your sandpaper like this, and then wipe it off. And keep going over it, over and over and over, until all the marks are gone. I'm not guide coating it with black, but you should if you're not very experienced at it. But this is basically what you do. Just keep blocking and blocking and blocking. See how it gets gummed up. So that's that little area there. When you get up to this big area like this, just use really long. I don't know if this primer's just not dry enough. It's been on there for 3 or 4 days. It should be dry. But sometimes you use this epoxy primer and it gums up a little bit. But you just whack it off with the file or your hand and just... Okay, so yeah, big areas, you just do big broad areas like this. Like that, and then go over it. You just gotta keep going till all the grind marks, sand marks, and everything are out. Okay? So I'm gonna do this quarter next, but this quarter panel here will take a couple hours. So in the meantime, I'm gonna prime the other side. And let me just go over. So I got the camera rolling here. Here's some 400 grit here. I don't use a little soft pad. I kind of went over this again before, but this is, the trunk lid's already done. It's been blocked and primed again, so it's needs just be sanded down with 400 grit and ready to paint. You can use like a Scotch-Brite pad if you're inexperienced at it, but you fold it 3 ways like that and you use that in. Now what you don't want to do, I went over this before in another video, but you don't want to push down with your fingers and stuff. You don't want finger marks in there like that. You got to use it flat and use your palm. And that's why you should use a soft block, not a block like this. It's a really thin block, so you don't leave finger marks in it. So basically you have your hand like this and go over it like that. Now, if you're unsure of your bodywork, you can block it out. You can use a regular block and block it out with 400 if you want. But that should have been done on the first, before this step. But in case you think you missed, you can go ahead and block it again. But any bare metal spots, you're gonna have to reprime it. Well, unless you want to use some sealer. Because this deck lid here, we used the guide coat, so we got all the marks out of it. So basically, this is all you do with 400 grit. And I use wet and dry because so you need to flip it over when you do a little area. Flip it over and just go over it different ways, backwards, even in circles. That's basically it. You just go over it like that, feel it till it's smooth. You know, you'll feel some rough areas if it's not sanded. Yeah, if you're just starting out, it's going to take you a long time to do this. This is the longest process of getting a car ready to paint. Just getting everything straight, sanded, blocked, primed, resanded. And after a while, you'll get to see the little marks and stuff that's you need to sand out that might show up in the paint. So basically, that's what we got to do with the whole car after it's final primed. You go over it with that. Okay, well, let me get them areas primed that are ready right now, and I'll be back later. Okay, guys, it's the next day. We got the front bumper off. I'm gonna go ahead and sand these down, sand it a little bit. Fill in them cracks with some epoxy and get this and this primed on both sides. This one I might have to put a little heat to it. It's kind of bubbled up. I don't know if that'll lay flat or not. Okay, this is the bumper here. And we wanted to take it off to paint this, but I don't know how well you can see here. But there's, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, 10. There's 11 bolts holding this thing on there. I don't think I'm going to take it off just to paint it. You know, if it was all rusty and stuff, I would. But I don't want to take a chance of the bolts or the clips or anything breaking. And I can paint it like this and get in here. So I'm going to sand all this down, paint it. I got the bezels off here. I'm going to leave this chrome around here and paint all this flat black all inside here with silver. Okay, I got that going. Now the car's been starting up. Well, it seems like the choke's really not working very good, but it'll start up after a few cranks and run pretty good. Well, this morning, trying to pull it out here, it was all stumbling and wouldn't idle. And it's blowing gas out the bottom. So let me start it up here. And I know it's probably just the float jammed or something. Barely idling. Probably won't do it now, but I was tapping around all the edges here and see if I get it unstuck. And it was all blowing gas out the bottom here, all in here and filling up a big pool on the manifold. See what happens. See, it's barely idling. And now it just died because it was flooding itself out with all that gas. There it is here. See it? See it all dripping out. So, I don't know. I tapped all around it. Can't get it to stop. I'd probably take it off and rebuild it, but I'm thinking about just taking the little simplified carburetor on the 68 off for now. The only problem is there isn't a deal like this on the manifold for a manual choke, but I could hook one up. So I don't know, this one doesn't leak, so I may put this one on there. Although on eBay you can buy new 1-barrel carburetors, brand new, shipped for like 80 bucks. So I don't know, I might try that, but for now I think I'll take that 1-barrel off that one and put it on this one, because I don't think these damn, I got two electrical things here and I don't think this electric choke's working at all. It takes a while for it to warm up and actually start. You know, you start it up for a few seconds, put it in gear, and it'll die till it's warmed up for about 3 or 4 minutes. So anyway, I got that problem to contend with. I need to fix that before paint it. I don't want to leave anything like that undone before I paint it. So anyway, that's what I got going on. I did prime this last night. What was it, this door and quarter? I got them primed. So pretty much the body, I just got this quarter here to do. I had a little extra primer, so I just primered the bottom that I'd already blocked. So pretty much got this quarter to block and reprime, and then the hood and the roof. And then after that, it's just scuff and shoot. So anyway, I'm gonna get going, and I'll be back with some updates later. Okay guys, just an update. I put that carburetor from the 68 on there. It immediately started leaking like the other one, but I give it a few taps and it stopped. But you rev it up real high and it kind of backfires and everything, so I don't think the carb is the best. So I ordered one off eBay. I think it was about 90 bucks altogether with tax and shipping. So I'm gonna see how it works. It's probably a Chinese made one, but for 90 bucks. If it works good, then I'll buy another one for the when we do the 72. Anyway, got the bumper off and touched it up with pour 15 there. I got some epoxy on this. Need to put a little bit more there, and I need to heat that side up. Put some pour 15 on the back of this bumper, and got the top ready to paint. Well, prime then paint. Okay, I'm fixing to do that here in a little bit. Just did a whole bunch of running around, and went to Harbor Freight, picked up another couple of paint guns, and amazingly, they lowered the price by $2. So instead of 16 something, they were like 14.90, 98 or something. So that was a pretty good deal. Picked up a couple of more, because the last two I got, one of them ended up being a dud. It was leaking right where the base screws on, and it wouldn't fan out very good. Second one sprays good, but the lid wouldn't tighten, and anyway, I just bought a couple of more, so I'll save one fresh one when I paint this one. Okay, went to AutoZone and picked up what they said on the website was the correct belts, but they never usually are. They're usually an inch off. But anyway, there's 3 new belts for it. One's for the AC, I'll hook up the first two, alternator and power steering, and see how that works. Make sure it doesn't squeal or anything. I'm pretty sure it's got a wrong belt on it. That's something on there. They're not loose. It just squeals till you rev it up. Okay, anyway, I got that. Went to the paint store. Got some 320 wet and dry. Final sand it. Got some steel wool. Clean off bumpers and windows. Same with razor blades. Got some free sticks and strainers. And a couple of rolls. I usually use that yellow 3M. But the green one, I know it's more pricier. But after I paint the black stripes, I want to tape up the stripes with this green. It sticks better, because last time I had a problem when I did the Chevy with the paper lifting up and getting some overspray onto the black stripes. And I picked up some more black. This is the paint I like using, Nason 2K. And then some hardener. Now they gave me the wrong receipt, and I don't know how much it was like $2.75 for everything. All this stuff, but I don't know what it is individually. I don't know how much the paint has gone up. This used to be about $120 just for the paint. It's probably gone up. I was gonna go back in there and get the receipt so I could see, but okay. And then I ordered a bunch of miscellaneous stuff from eBay. Let's see if I can find a razor blade. And just this has come in so far. These are just two window winders with the black tips. Like I stated before, I got a whole bunch of these window winders, but they're all clear and crappy looking chrome. But these were like $8 each, so it's well worth it. It'll look really good after the new door panels are put on there. Okay, that's about all I got right now. So, fixing to paint some silver on the bumper. Those rubber extensions. Probably around the door locks and door handles. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and put all that together. So I can put the door panels and everything, inside door panels on and everything, and around the windows. And I'm going to go ahead and put the chrome around the windows back on. Just, you know, if you're doing a paint job on your car, you could leave all them off, but I don't know. I just feel like putting them all on. And then I'm going to paint these flat black here, the inside. Inside, leave the chrome. I think that's about it. I did block down this quarter panel here. Did that last night, and all I gotta re-block and prime is the roof and the hood, and I'll probably do that today too. So anyway, I'll be back when I get some more updates. Okay guys, I got all the hood and roof all sanded down, ready to prime. And the quarter panel, so I'm fixing to do that right now. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay guys, I got it all primed. Quarter panel, roof, and hood. So it's I started scuffing it down here with that 320 grit that I got. That's all it needs to be ready to paint, is just scuffed all down. So it's pretty much ready to paint. That's a final prime coat on it, and it'll probably be a couple days before I paint the black. I don't think I'm gonna do stripes on the roof, now that I think about it. I think just the hood and the deck lid Could change, I don't know. It's just kind of hard putting the little extra stripe on the... I could do it, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, it'll be a few days to let all this primer dry, sand it, paint the black. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and put the door panels and stuff back on. I paint a little silver here around the door lock so I can put the handles and locks on. Painted the silver here on the top of the bumper, and once that dries I'll put the bumper on. Painted the little end caps. This one here is kind of droopy, but it's supposed to be like that. I heated that up and put 2 pieces of wood like this between them and clamped them when it was heated up. That's how I did that, as it was all bubbled up. I don't know how. I should have. Anyway, that's what I'll be doing while I'm waiting for the primer to dry before I paint the black. I'm going to put the bumper on, put the door panels on. I painted some paint around the edges here. I'm going to go ahead and put all the chrome back on the back window too. And the carburetor, I don't know when it's going to get here. Probably be another, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 days, something like that. And we can put that on. I think that's the last in the can. Oh, that and the belts. So I put them belts on too while I'm waiting for the primer to dry. Paint these flat black. So anyway, I think I'll end this video here. And next video, we'll get all the black painted on there and get some other stuff done. Hopefully the carburetor, stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, subscribe if you haven't. Bottom right hand corner of the screen there, subscribe button. Just click that. It's free, doesn't cost anything. And like, comment, share, all that stuff. And this thing's getting close. It'll be we'll get the black on it next video, and probably the silver on it the video after. I might take a break in between and work on this 72 for a day or two. 72 over there, I want to pull that over and pull the engine transmissions that's just sitting in there. So stay tuned for that, because that's coming up next after this one. But I'm not rushing this one. You know, if it needs time to dry, I'm going to let it dry. I'm not going to rush trying to get it done just so I can work on the 72. Okay, so this one's going to be completely done by the time I get full going on that 72. But anyway, I'm going to bring that over in between next video and the video after. In between, before it's fully painted with the silver and the black and all that. Because I want that to be the last step. Is once it's painted, that's it, it's done. Don't have to screw around with a carburetor and, you know, other stuff on it, because I don't want to be working on especially mechanical stuff after it's painted, trying to get all that wrapped up before. Okay, so that'll close out this video, and we'll see you next one. Thanks everybody for watching.